Ever wondered how Nutella is made? Today, we're revealing its secrets, from the selection of premium ingredients to the intricate factory processes that created this beloved hazelnut spread. And did you know that the first version of Nutella was created shortly after World War II? Stick around to find out why. To make Nutella, the first step is to have cocoa beans. Cocoa beans are grown on cocoa trees, which are carefully cultivated by farmers. The farmers carefully handpick the ripe cocoa pods, selecting only the highest quality ones. Then they collect these precious pods into containers, ready to be transported to factories. At the processing plant, workers efficiently separate the cocoa nibs, the protective shells around the beans, from the pods. The extracted materials are set aside, and the nibs are left to dry. During the drying process, the cocoa nibs develop a dry outer skin layer. This drying process is an important step in preparing the cocoa beans for the next stages of Nutella production. After the cocoa nibs have dried, the workers inspect them to make sure they are ready for the next stage, roasting. The workers do a quick test to check the quality of the cocoa nibs, which break apart easily at this stage, confirming they're ready to make cocoa butter and chocolate. First, the workers open up all the cocoa bean sacks and pour the contents into a hopper. From there, the beans slowly make their way into collection bins, aided by vibrating mechanisms. As the beans travel through the vibrators, the fine outer skin is shaken off. So, once the beans have been completely cleaned, they get transferred over to the roasting machines for the next step. During roasting, the cocoa bean shells crack open, exposing the nibs inside. Workers then use machines to separate the beans from the shells, with the empty shells collected and the freed beans moving to grinding. Then, in the grinding machines, the cocoa beans are crushed and ground down into a fine cocoa powder. This cocoa powder is the primary ingredient that will be used to make the Nutella spread. But what gives Nutella its delightful sweetness? Let's explore the journey of sugar in this process. In addition to cocoa powder, the other main ingredient needed to make Nutella is sugar. This sugar comes from sugar beets. The sugar beets are harvested and brought to the Nutella production facility. The workers then put the beets through cleaning processes to remove any dirt or impurities before the next steps. The cleaned sugar beets are shredded and then refined to extract the pure white sugar, a key ingredient that provides Nutella's signature sweetness. The refined white sugar is poured into specialized vibrating machines to ensure only the highest quality sugar is used in Nutella. The cocoa powder and sugar are the main ingredients, but Nutella also contains milk. Have you ever wondered about the journey of milk from the farm to your Nutella jar? Let's uncover this part of the process. The milk comes from healthy cows that are specially selected by Nutella producers. The milk producers regularly update Nutella's quality control team on the cow's health and milk output. Once the premium milk is delivered, it undergoes rigorous testing. Only after the milk passes inspection by experts is it approved for use in Nutella. In addition to the cocoa, milk, and sugar, the Nutella recipe also needs hazelnuts. For this, the Nutella producers get their hazelnuts mostly from Turkey, since that region is known for growing the best hazelnuts. When it's time to harvest the hazelnuts, specialized in machinery used, this equipment not only gathers up the hazelnuts from the trees, but also collects some extraneous plant matter and debris along with them. The machinery uses a blower system to selectively retain only the purest, most perfect hazelnuts, while blowing away extra leaves and dirt, ensuring the best hazelnuts reach the Nutella factory. The hazelnuts are brought to the factory, where they are roasted and then separated from their shells. This process transforms the nuts into a fine, smooth paste. The last important ingredient for Nutella is palm oil. This palm oil plays a crucial role. It prevents the Nutella spread from solidifying and also enhances the overall taste. Palm oil production starts with harvesting palm fruits. These fruits are then taken to factories where they undergo sterilization and threshing processes. In this stage, the individual fruits are removed from the bunches they grow in. Then machines squeeze and press the fruits, extracting the precious juices within. Now moving on to how Nutella is made in factories. The first step is to put the hazelnut paste and raw cocoa powder into a big mixing machine. Then the mixer blends the hazelnut paste and cocoa powder together. As they mix, the natural oils in the hazelnuts and cocoa help turn the mixture into a smooth, creamy paste. The blending continues until the texture is perfectly smooth. The essential ingredients, cocoa powder, sugar, milk powder, and other secret ingredients, are now added one by one. The mixture is then left to blend for a period of time. Now, before moving on to the second last step in the Nutella manufacturing process, let me share an interesting fact about the origins of this beloved spread. The Nutella we know and love today is quite different from the original version created by its Italian founder, Pietro Ferrero. After World War II, cocoa was in short supply, so Ferrero had to get creative. In 1946, he developed a paste made from hazelnuts, sugar, and a small amount of cocoa. The spread, called giangiujot, was meant to be sliced and served on bread. It was later transformed into a jarred product called super crema in 1951. Over the years, the recipe went through some variations, and the name was changed again before Nutella was finally launched in 1964. The iconic Nutella jar we recognize today hit the shelves in Germany just 1 year later. Isn't that interesting? Now, let's move on to the second last step of the Nutella making process. With all the ingredients all blended together, the next step is to begin filling the glass jars with the rich Nutella chocolate spread. This is done right away, making sure the delicious flavors are perfectly preserved in each jar. This way, every bite from these jars will deliver that irresistibly addictive Nutella taste. It's amazing to see how the machines work together to fill, seal, and pack the Nutella jars. The final step is adding special Nutella labels, making the jars ready to transport to retailers and enjoyed by people everywhere. Peanut butter. If Nutella's rich, chocolatey flavor makes you wonder about the creation of another beloved spread, then you're in for a treat. We're about to reveal the fascinating process behind making creamy, delicious peanut butter. Did you know that peanut butter has an interesting history? Peanut butter as we know it today can be tracked back to ancient civilizations in South Africa, like the Incas and Aztecs. These ancient people were the first to grind roasted peanuts into a paste. Fast forward to the late 1800s when an unknown St. Louis doctor supposedly encouraged a food company owner to process and package peanut paste as a protein substitute for people with poor teeth. This was a key step in the evolution of peanut butter into the creamy spread we know today. Before we get into the process of making peanut butter, the journey begins with the peanuts themselves. Peanut butter factories source their peanuts primarily from the southeastern United States and southern areas, where peanuts are extensively cultivated. Now, let's explore how modern factories transform freshly harvested peanuts into the creamy delight we all enjoy. Once the peanuts are harvested from the fields, they go through a detailed 4-step process to turn them into the creamy, spreadable nut butter we all enjoy. The journey to make peanut butter begins with roasting. The raw peanuts are placed in a large oven and carefully roasted until they reach the perfect golden brown color and rich, nutty aroma. Once they've reached that optimal state, the peanuts are quickly cooled using fan-circulated air. Now, the peanuts go through a blanching process, a special machine that removes the outer skins from the roasted peanuts, usually by briefly steaming them. After that, peanuts are cooled, split, cleaned, and sorted. The prepared peanuts then move on to the grinding stage. This is done in 2 steps to avoid grinding too much heat, which could finish the flavor. The first grinding reduces the peanuts to a coarse, chunky paste. Finally, it's the mixing stage. During the second grinding, additional ingredients like sugar and salt are blended in. The primary process transforms the peanut paste into the smooth, creamy peanut butter texture that we all know and love before it's packaged up and ready for transport. Now, the next step is putting the peanut butter into jars. Once the peanuts have been roasted, blanched, ground, and mixed to perfection, the smooth, creamy peanut butter is carefully portioned out and packed into clean glass jars. This packaging process is done with great care and precision. The jars are filled to the ideal level, ensuring there's just the right amount of peanut butter in each one. Then the lids are tightly sealed, locking in all that delicious flavor and texture. After the jars are filled and sealed, they move on to the labeling stage. The iconic peanut butter brand labels are carefully applied to the outside of the jars, completing the final product. With the peanut butter safely contained in its jars and branded with familiar labels, the products are now ready to be shipped out and enjoyed by peanut butter lovers everywhere. Jam. Now that you've uncovered the process of peanut butter, if you're a jam lover, You'll be delighted to learn about the fascinating journey of creating this beloved spread. Now, let's get into the careful steps involved in creating delicious strawberry jams that bring sweetness to our breakfast tables. The process for fruit jams follow a similar method, much like that used for strawberry jam. For the production of strawberry jam, the first step is to have raw strawberries. Making strawberry jam begins with sourcing fresh strawberries to the factories. At the factories, the workers check the weight of delivered strawberries to ensure the right quantity. The berries then go to the sorting area, where the workers carefully package each one by hand, removing any that don't meet quality standards before the next production stage. After, the workers carefully place each one into a special mold. This mold will help prepare the strawberries for the next crucial step. Next, the strawberries move onto an automated machine. These advanced robots are programmed to detect the green stem and cap, calling the hull on each strawberry. Using precision tools, the machines gently remove just the hull, without damaging any other part of the fruit. The strawberries undergo a thorough two-step cleaning process. First, they are washed with water, and after that, they are washed again and using specialized spraying systems with sanitizing solutions to provide a more rigorous cleaning and remove contaminants like pesticide residues. After that, they are carefully placed into food-grade containers. These fresh strawberries are placed into containers to preserve their fresh flavor when frozen. This ensures that they taste just as good as if they were freshly picked from the farm and brought straight to your plate. The containers are tightly sealed to keep the pulpy fruit inside safe and fresh. Additionally, some of these frozen strawberries are used to make delicious strawberry jam. They are transported to carriers to the next stage, where they are loaded into containers and mixed with other ingredients. But what makes strawberry jam so irresistibly sweet? Let's uncover the journey of sugar in this delightful process. Once the strawberries are loaded, it's time to add more ingredients like sugar. They ensure the jam looks appealing, tastes delicious, and has the perfect texture. After pouring in the right amount of sugar, they adjusted the settings and machine functions by using important controls. Then the strawberries are immersed and soaked in a sweet syrup. This process is crucial for creating a smooth, pulp-free jam. They're then heated and mixed extensively, with pectin added to achieve the ideal thickness before the mixture is cooked to the perfect texture. After the strawberry mixture has been cooked down, the factory workers will test it to see if it's ready. They'll check the consistency for flavor to determine if it needs any more cooking time. Once the jam base is just right, the final steps begin. The mixture is stirred to make it smoother and creamier while also cooling it down a bit. During this cooling and stirring process, the flavors and mixtures blend together perfectly. It's like giving the ingredients time to mix and mingle before they're put into jars. Workers make sure the jam has the perfect mix of sweetness, tanginess, and thickness before they pack it. Stirring and cooling helps the jam achieve the smooth, easy-to-spread feature that everyone loves. The next step in the process is to fill the jars with the prepared strawberry jam. For this, the empty jars arrive at the factory, neatly organized and ready to be filled. The thick, flavorful jam is then carefully poured into the waiting jars. In factories, this pouring process is automated, with specialized machines handling the task. These machines are precisely calibrated to fill each jar with the perfect amount of fruity, sweet jam. No jam is wasted during this final stage, as the automated equipment ensures consistency across the final batch. Each jar is filled to the ideal level, creating a uniform product. Now, the next step involves placing a larger number of lids in a neat arrangement. These lids are then conveyed along a roller coaster-like belt to the sealing machines positioned at the ceiling. Here, the machines securely seal the jars with the lids. As we prepare to seal the jars, let's reflect on the careful steps that ensure each jar of strawberry jam meets the highest standards. After the jars are filled with the delicious strawberry jam, they go through one more cleaning step. The sealed jars are washed to remove any residential sweetness or stickiness in the outside. This ensures the jars are spotless before the final packaging. Next, the last step is that the jars move onto the labeling station. Here, automated machines carefully apply the iconic labels and stickers to the outside of the jars. These labels not only identify the brand, but also indicate that the jar has been factory-based. Honey. Now that you've learned about the intricate process of making strawberry jam, let's shift our focus towards another beloved sweet spread, honey. But first, let's uncover the natural process that turned flower nectar into golden honey. Honey production starts on farms. relying on the symbiotic relationship between flowers and bees. Bees collect nectar and pollen from flowers, which they store as honey in specialized Langstroth hives. During summer, bee colonies reach peak populations. Beekeepers use smokers filled with paper and lavender to calm the bees while inspecting the hives. Smoke is created by squeezing the smoke bellows, drawing in air. Beekeepers wear protective gear and approach the hive. Using tools to open the roof, they create smoke to calm the bees, then carefully remove the honey-filled frames one by one. The most common hive equipment is the 10-frame deep box. Though 8-frame versions are also used, the beekeeper may not use a hot air gun to clear any remaining bees before removing the wax-filled frames, which are then transported to a processing facility for more extraction and packaging. The honey-filled frames are carefully transported to the processing factory, where workers use forklifts to move and assemble the boxes in the storeroom, organizing the frames before the extraction process begins. To streamline the honey extraction process, many factories utilize specialized machines to remove the wax coating from the hive frames. After the honey frames are prepared, they are taken to the honey extractor machine. This machine is designed to extract honey from the frames, making it easy to collect the sweet liquid. This machine works by gently spinning the frames, allowing the honey to flow out of the honeycomb cells. And this process is carefully controlled to ensure that the honey is extracted without damaging the delicate honeycomb structure. Once the honey has been extracted, the empty frames are carefully arranged in boxes, ready for the next steps in the process. The honey that was extracted by the machine is collected and stored in a separate container. This allows the golden liquid to be safely transported to the next stage of processing. After the honey is extracted using the honey extractor machine, the next step is to filter and process the raw honey. The extracted honey goes through a filtration process, using screens to remove any remaining wax, pollen, or other particles. This helps clean and clarify the honey. The next step is the heating process. The honey is placed into large tanks and warmed to around 50 degrees Celsius or 122 degrees Fahrenheit. As the honey heats up, any crystallized portions melt back into a smooth liquid state. Additionally, any small impurities like pollen grains rise to the surface during the heating. These impurities are then carefully removed. Once the honey has been heated and purified, it is allowed to cool down to a safe temperature. At this point, the clean, high-quality honey is ready to be bottled, packaged, and shipped out to retailers and consumers. This careful process ensures the honey maintains its natural qualities while meeting food safety standards before reaching consumers. So, here we are with the incredible manufacturing processes of Nutella and some of your favorite spreads. If you enjoyed learning about these sweet creations, don't forget to like and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes insights.